You can share the adjectives by, you can just say A, comma, B, comma, C, like that. You can just share, or you can even type 111, however you want to. So go ahead and in the chat window, just type the session. And as you type, you also look at what others are sharing. And just a request to everybody, once you finish speaking, please mute your mic. Otherwise, some kind of static or background sounds keeps coming. Thank you. Also a request for everybody to ensure that your name in when you log in into Zoom is not your device name or any other name, but your name, so that when we read a chat message, we know whom is it from, or when we see you on your video, we know who it is. Otherwise, if it shows some other word or some other name or some device name like Realme 3, like that, that doesn't tell us who it is who is writing, right? So you can easily change it right away. It's very easy to change. Just go to your name in the list of participants and you can change it there. And as you share your adjectives, and also as you read others in the chat window, what are the thoughts that are coming to your mind? Yeah, any thoughts coming to your mind as you read the adjectives of others and yours?
Hi, Ratnesh. Preeti here. So, hello everyone. So the first thing that I read everyone's, and when I was even thinking for myself, that came to my mind, all the five that I first thought of were all positive. Nothing really negative, that I could think of to describe myself. And then suddenly it struck me, maybe I could have some negative points as well. And so I added the last two, short tempered and super sensitive. But yeah, most of us have described ourselves with positive adjectives.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Preeti's observation is most of us have shared positive adjectives. Others, what do you think? What is the thoughts coming to your mind?
So Deepthi here. So
Yeah, Deepti.
even I agree with Preeti. Most of the adjectives we all of us have used are, I would say, 70% of them at least are positive. So this tells us two things. Like when we are trying to, maybe we were already in the perception that this will be shared during the session.
Mm-hmm.
So we always try to put our positive self first,
Mm-hmm.
and we try to ignore our negative self.
Okay. You said two things. What else? So one is we try to put positive.
Yeah, and we try to hide the negative part.
Okay. And why do you think we do that? If at all we do that?
Miss, I think that's the behavior of a person.
Mm-hmm. But
uh,
why is that behavior there? Why would we want to put the positive in front?
Maybe to show the world that we are good, we are a good human being.
And
And
why do we want to show the world that we are good human beings?
I don't know, maybe to make some impression, or
And why would we want to make an impression?
uh, maybe to serve our own something that is deep down inside us.
Which is,
Maybe our ego or something. I don't know.
pardon?
Maybe our ego, or
Hmm.
yeah, or our own perception of ourselves.
Hmm. Okay. Let's see who else wants to share.
Hello.
Yeah, Pooja.
Hello. Yeah, that's because I think I'm just continuing what Dipti was saying,
Hmm.
that why we want to show our positive to the world, because we, from the starting, we are being judged, right? When I was a child, I was judged at every point of time.
Hmm.
So that what's it, that conditioning has made that nature in us, that we will be judged at every point of time by someone who is sitting, or who is in contact with me. All will judge me.
Hmm. So,
So
why do you say we are being judged? What does that mean?
because we can see that when our child is going to school, at every point they are being judged, like he's a brilliant, he's not brilliant, he's weak, he's strong,
Yeah, yeah. What
somewhat,
does that
like,
mean?
that those adjectives given to that tag, we are going to tag them. That's what tells
Yeah,
them
yeah.
that
You said that from childhood, let's say you were judged. Yeah, let's
yeah.
not talk about anybody else. So, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, what if you were judged? Big deal.
So maybe because that conditioning, like, if you
What was
will,
the conditioning?
that you will be judged, right?
Yeah. So
Like,
what? So what?
whatever I'm doing, someone is seeing me and someone will
Yeah. So
uh,
what?
so
So what
that's
if
how
you
we
will be
are
judged?
grown up.
No, no.
That's how we are
That is
grown up,
okay.
right?
But so what if you will be judged? What's the issue here? I mean, you said from my childhood, let's say I was judged.
Yeah.
I said okay, but what?
Hmm.
But so what?
Maybe that appreciation that I got when I show my positive side, I liked it,
Okay,
and
so
the
now
other
that's a
way was
different
not good
thought.
to me.
So you pushed ahead the judgment thought aside, and you're saying you like the positive ones.
Yeah,
You like the positive judgment. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I like, obviously.
So you wanted more of it?
So right now, if I'm trying, like, thoughtful mind is saying that I should not be,
No, no, no.
I should
Forget
not
should not
change.
be.
Yeah,
Forget should not
but
be.
then that is
Let's go back
conditioning,
to the
which is,
past. Yeah, yeah. Wait. Let's
yeah.
not use the word conditioning. Let's just
Okay.
understand it. So
Hmm.
you are saying that
Hmm.
you like the positive judgments.
Appreciation.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, you call
Yeah.
it
Positive
appreciation.
judgments.
I'm just calling it
Yeah.
positive judgment.
Positive judgment.
And because of that, you wanted more of that.
Hmm.
Okay. And but what about the negative judgments?
I'm not liking it
Why?
because that doesn't gives me a good
Good what?
feeling. Good feeling, maybe.
Why it doesn't give you a good feeling?
That's somehow natural in me. I don't know
No,
why.
no, 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 no.
That's
Natural, natural.
someone
I
else wants to say.
everything is natural. So,
Okay, let me
think
think
about
on it. I'll
yeah.
come back to it.
Think about right.
Yeah.
We just say it's my conditioning. People judge. We just throw these words: judgment, conditioning, blah blah blah. Okay, but who told you to buy that air conditioner, or rather for that conditioner? Nobody told you to buy it. Somewhere you bought it, right?
Yeah.
So think about it. Like, wait, what
I'll
is the
think.
conditioning? As if you are like you have no choice. As if conditioning is given, right? As if it is something which is poor Puja. She have she
Yeah.
was, whatever exposed to such conditioning. So hang on. So
Okay.
let's see what we can do about it, right? So think about it.
Yeah, I'll come back to it.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure. Okay. Somebody else also wanted to share something.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
Bhavna here.
Yeah, we'll take Bhavna's Preeti first. She was waiting in line. Can we do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, the positive I would say is makes me feel good about myself and drives me to do like improve myself much better. So
Can you repeat
and
that? Can you repeat that? And can whoever wherever possible on your video when you're speaking, it just feels nice to see a face talking, even if it's a
uh,
silly face, if it is possible. Yeah, go
actually,
ahead.
it's I'm in the dark because my kid is sleeping.
Sure, sure.
Uh,
That's why I added it. If it is possible, carry on.
yeah. So basically, I would say for a very long time, for me, it was about people's judgment. People how do they see me?
Yeah, yeah.
But
I'm asking that. Why is that important?
yes, it's not important to me anymore. Of late, for me, it's more about how I feel about myself.
Mm-hmm.
For me, what uh, is going within me, the positive and the negative, because from the negative is what I learn also,
Mm-hmm.
key where I can probably improve, get create, like you said, with the beliefs, with the feelings, you play around. So even if there is like a negative day or I have a bad mood, probably it is some learning somewhere, some challenge somewhere. So now I take it up like that.
Sure.
So for me, the good and the bad is all for myself right now
Mm-hmm.
you know
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
so even if it's like a simple thing like I love you, I have stopped expecting people to tell that to me. I tell that to myself now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even like a birthday wish, it's my birthday, I wish myself first. So and I really feel good about it. It's
Mm-hmm.
just I have gone through a few downs which has taught me these things. uh, I used to give a lot of importance to what people around used to tell me, and I tried a lot to nurture myself according to how they want me to be, but I was just not happy with all of that.
Sure.
And
Sure.
like today for me, my feelings, what I want to do, where I can get creative, where I need to say a no, is become more important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much
Preeti.
that.
Yeah, so Ratnesh, I was just saying that we generally are taught, or that's how our parents brought us up, that you should always show your good side. Don't do this in front of others. It's okay if you do with us, but eat with a fork and a spoon when we go outside, and
Sure,
it's
sure.
okay to
So
eat
the
with your
question
hands
is,
at
so the
home.
question, Preeti, is
So
why? Why do you want to? Yes, your
yeah,
parents taught you, but why do you want to show the so-called positive side?
uh, because otherwise you it's like the world perceives you as if you lack in something,
Yeah, and
or
what's wrong or right about the world perceiving you, however the world is perceiving you?
this whole thing of inclusivity, whether it's in a group, a society, for
So
you
you
to
think you will be
belong,
rejected? You will
sometimes
be
you have
rejected.
to.
You will be thrown out if you are not showing the
Yes.
positive sides. Okay, okay, fair enough. So you think you will be
Yeah, or at
included?
least not everything. Yeah.
Pardon?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So you
Yes,
feel
yes,
that you will
that's
be
right.
included
Yeah,
if you
that's what
show the
I'm.
positive side, but if you will be excluded, okay, we will come back to that. Okay. Um, so what I want to do is I want to share one adjective of mine with all of you. Uh, okay, and this is my adjective. I say I'm a rascal. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. And I'm also saying one more thing with this. I'm not just saying I'm a rascal. I'm saying, and so are you. What do you think? I'm
Just
saying
sound
I'm a rascal, and I'm saying, and so are you.
no, it just sounds funny.
Sounds funny. Okay.
Sounds untrue.
Sounds untrue. Someone is saying it's true.
Hi Ratnesh.
Yes,
Uh,
uncle.
it's like uh, by saying one word, you can't be a rascal or we can't be a rascal.
Hmm.
By telling in one time, it is not possible that I'm going to be a rascal or a you
But
are.
I'm telling you, not just one time. I'm telling you for sure you are a rascal. And so am I.
Uh, so don't mind. Both are rascals, so no problem.
Okay. Uh, no, Bhavna. I'm not feeling about how I feel about you and all that. I'm saying it's a fact. I mean, I'm not talking about any feeling. I'm saying as a fact you are a rascal and so am I. Gunjan is mad.
I think we'll have to revisit the dictionary or rewrite the dictionary and understand the meanings.
No. Whatever is the meaning of rascal to you, it doesn't matter. We're not trying to have one definition.
Mm.
Abhishek is asking, do you know enough about me? Yes, Abhishek. I know enough about you to know that you are a rascal.
I have one thought. That,
Mhm.
so, like, until and unless I am able to relate to this word with myself, even though you tell I am a rascal, I will not accept it.
Yeah, but you will have some meaning of this word rascal. Whatever is that meaning of word rascal? Do you think you are rascal?
No, I don't think.
Hmm.
So that's
What if
why,
I prove you wrong? You want me to do that?
sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure.
Have
You
you
can do
have you ever behaved in a way where later on you thought, I was such a rascal of me? Meaning you may not have used the word. Word is more a question of who uses what terms, but you know where I'm coming from. Have you ever behaved in such a way with anybody in any part of your life where you think you behaved as a rascal? Whatever is your meaning of the word rascal. I mean, we can change the word to rascal, idiot, or whatever else you want, whatever term you want to use. That is immaterial. What do you say, Deepti? Have you ever
Yeah,
behaved like a rascal?
yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay, so then you are a rascal. Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Oh, she's saying thank you.
Thanks for making me realize.
If you have behaved sometimes, okay. So
Mhm.
let's take any of your. I don't remember your list. Tell me one of the adjective that you used for yourself.
Fit. I said I'm fit.
Okay. Any other?
Fit, friendly,
Hmm.
confident.
Okay. So are you always friendly?
No.
No. But you still call yourself friendly. So you're
Yes.
not always rascal. Sometimes you're rascal. So you call yourself as rascal.
Yeah.
How is that?
Normally, we try to attach ourselves to the attributes which we most of the time follow.
Yeah. We will. I don't know most of the times. Then we will have to keep a record of your 24 hours. When were you rascal? When were you friendly? How many times? Which is more? Which is less? But it's not about quantity. One rascal can be bigger than one rascal moment can be far more bigger than 10 friendly moments. So it's also about quality, right? So how do we define ourselves? Do we define ourselves as friendly, or do we define ourselves as little bit friendly, little bit rascal? How would
Yeah,
you
I think.
define yourself? I am defining myself that I am a rascal, for sure, known, certified. And I'm also saying you are also a rascal, known, certified.
Yes, so I think it is like at some point of time all of us have been means linked with at least one of these attributes. So
Mhm.
so I don't think there will be any attribute to which we will never be attached.
Right. So let me ask everybody, let's say a simple thing happens. Let's say maybe somewhere you do some behavior, maybe in a restaurant and somebody, or on the road, something happens and somebody gets little upset, or not little upset, upset and shouts at you, you rascal, you can't see what you are doing. Let's say somebody says that. How do you feel at that moment? Yeah. How do you all feel?
Angry,
Why are you angry, Gayatri?
because someone's using a strong word at me.
Okay, first of all, let me ask you, are you a rascal?
Uh, I don't know what this you're telling me. I did something and someone is
No, no,
saying,
no. Before we get into the situation, are you a rascal or not? Like how I was talking to Deepthi.
yeah. So there could have been instances where I had been a rascal. Yeah,
Right. So are you a rascal or not?
yeah.
You am a rascal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like me.
Yes.
Yeah. And just like all of us here.
Yeah.
Yeah. They may not agree. We will discuss that. Whoever doesn't agree, we will talk to them and we will convince them. Don't worry. So if you are a rascal, now this person has just called you a rascal. So why are you angry? He's called you by what you are. He or she has
But
called you by what you are. So why are you angry?
so I'm conditioned to think and
No,
be.
don't tell me all that conditioning. Tell me why are you angry?
So I talk. In that situation, if I were in that guy's or girl's shoes, I would still not use a word
No,
which
no,
is
that's
supposed.
okay. That's okay. What word he or she has used, but why are you angry?
Because I am of the belief that the word is very, very offensive.
But you yourself are saying I am a rascal. If you yourself are saying I am a rascal, then how can you be
So
offended?
I think I think it happens in a place where many people are watching.
Yeah. Many people are watching. If he said, "Oh, how friendly of you," will you mind that? Will you get angry? No. So one attribute of that person, you are agreeing to, and one person,
Yeah.
only
So
one
that
aspect we are
the
not
yeah,
agreeing.
that is making me feel good. This is making me feel bad.
Why? So somebody
Why?
else is also
Yeah.
saying in the
So
chat, ego gets hurt. So forget the ego part, because I don't know what is that, but you feel hurt, right?
yeah.
Okay, that's why you are angry. So anger is coming from what you are, how you perceive it. So you have felt hurt. So the question is, why have we felt hurt?
Ratnesh,
Um.
Ratnesh, can I answer?
Yeah, anybody.
Okay, so Ratish, could it be that one of or two of instances in our whole life of 30 years doesn't make us, to be labeled as rascals? So, like,
No,
I
wait.
remember
Are you saying you have been only rascal twice in your whole life of 30 years? Wow, amazing. Where are your charans? I need to touch them.
what I mean is I've not been
No,
a
I want to ask you, have
every
you been
time,
only rascal twice?
always. I've not been always. Let's put it at that. I've not been
Sure,
a rascal
sure. But
always.
but have you been friendly always?
No.
No. So when they say friendly, then you don't get angry. When they say rascal, then you get angry, while both are part of you.
Yeah, but that's again a negative connotation.
Wait, we'll come to the negative part. Why is it negative if it's part of you? You only are saying, yes, I've been rascal few times. Deepthi has said that. Gayatri has said that. Right? So if we have been rascal, then why are we feeling hurt?
So I think this is we are all talking. We've been talking for the last 3-4 sessions. I know you, Ratnesh, at least in the sessions, and the others we are kind of familiar. So calling each other by any name or anything doesn't make so much of a difference.
Yeah, but
But
outside on the road, it's making a difference to you, or in a party, it is making a difference to you. The question that I'm asking is why?
I
Why?
think
Shilpa is also saying in private it is okay, in public it is not okay. right? So the question that I'm asking is, why is it making a difference in the public? And see, somebody calling you a rascal is hurting you.
So, uh,
Actually, sorry, but thinking more and more about this, actually, it's not hurting because it doesn't, after a point, the word doesn't, hold any.
No. It's not about here. It's not about now. It's not about the word rascal. It could be about any word, right? But
I
why
think
don't
it's
any
the
word?
attitude.
Yeah.
It's
So
the attitude with
what is
which
causing
it
this
is being
attitude?
said.
Yeah. But what is causing this attitude? Why is that attitude troubling you? That is his attitude. It is not your attitude. So why is his or
Yeah.
her attitude troubling you? Something to think about. Why is her attitude troubling you?
That's
uh,
again a choice of feeling how you feel. I choose to feel angry with his attitude.
Yeah. But you, no. Wait. We are going one step behind just feeling that we are.
Hmm.
You're feeling angry. I'm questioning that, saying,
Hmm.
why are we feeling angry?
So I think it hurts our self-esteem.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever, self-esteem, ego, whatever are those terms. But why does it hurt? See, either we need to first realize either we are a rascal or we are not a rascal. If you agree, kind of, that yes, I am also a rascal because I do things like that. If you start realizing that I am also a rascal, will it hurt when people will call you a rascal? Sorry, more people wanted to speak. I think Tonya wanted to speak, and yeah, go ahead, speak, please. Please don't ask me in chat window. Just go ahead and speak. Whoever wants to speak.
yes, so I would like to say, Deepti here.
Yeah,
So,
Deepti.
like, I agree that I am a rascal, but maybe at that moment I was not rascal, but that person is telling me that I am a rascal at that point of time. So when I am not agreeing to that person's view, then I am getting angry.
Uh, I'm still not sure that it's about just about that person's view. It is little more than that. So maybe you are agreeing to me now that I am a rascal. Maybe, but at that time, maybe you would have got angry. But maybe tomorrow when you step out and somebody says you're a rascal, maybe it will not affect you anymore. Not just the word rascal, maybe any other word. What are we talking here?
Somewhere it might depend upon our mood also. Like if we are
No,
happy,
it's not about mood. It's not about feelings. It's about something else. What is it about?
It's about belief.
Okay, what belief?
The belief that if you're called, you're called by a hurtful word in front of.
Wait. When you are saying it's a belief of hurtful word, what are these hurtful words? Because they are about you. How can they be hurtful?
No,
Yes, Savita.
it's the
Let's see what's.
belief system that you should not use such words.
But
Like
they are
certain.
part of you.
No, but
Yes.
we have been told that you cannot use this such and such a word. No, that is very, very.
Okay, let's take more thoughts.
What?
Yeah, Savita.
What?
Okay, Tonya.
Yeah, so what I think is that, Gayatri, what I think is that the belief which we have is that we think of ourselves as positive. So we are used to be looking up at ourselves that we're positive, and we won't really think about ourselves by what we have done wrong. So when the time comes that someone has to tell us we have done something wrong, which is like a slap on the face when they call us a rascal, we're not used to it because we have known that we have done something bad. We don't know that someone's going to notice it and call us. So yeah, so basically it's a slap on the face, and because we are used to being positive, or probably being thought as we are positive.
Okay. Yeah, Savita.
Yeah, I wanted to add that I think we want others to talk only good things about us. So, although if we are honest to ourselves, we have all aspects, good, bad, whatever. Others may like some things, don't like.
So if you're
But when
honest to
you point
yourself,
it out,
wait. So
uh,
you said if you're honest to yourself. So if you're honest to
yeah,
yourself, when you know you are rascal,
yes,
yeah, then will you be hurt when somebody says you are a rascal?
yes, yes.
Why will it hurt you?
Uh,
If you're honest to
because I
yourself
don't
and you
want
know
others to
part
point
of
it
me
out.
is rascal and part of me is not rascal.
No, no,
If
no, no.
somebody
We
is
don't
calling
want
me,
others to say that. I think that's why we feel very bad if others point it out.
okay, is it about others pointing out or is it about us holding on to something? If you say to yourself that, hey, I am a rascal, at least say to yourself, at least realize, at least become aware of it that I am a rascal.
Makes it easy to
How does it
understand why they are
how
saying.
does it matter? Yeah, maybe it makes it easier. And even if they say, even if somebody calls me a rascal, I'll say, oh, right now he's seeing the rascal side of me. Yeah, and I'll say, okay, so let's see what's bothering him. Let's figure that out. Because I'm anyway a rascal, so it doesn't matter whether he calls me rascal or he calls me lazy or he calls me an idiot or he calls me whatever he calls me or she calls me. How does that matter? It matters only when it matters to me that I am not that, I am something else. If you say to yourself, I am not a rascal, then when somebody calls you a rascal, then you will be troubled. So, Savita, if I call you, let's say Charu, what will you do? In a group, I'm calling out, looking at you and saying, Charu, come here. And what will you do?
Okay, I'm not Charu, so it doesn't affect me.
Yeah. Will you get upset, angry? No. At best, you will tell me, I'm not Charu.
Yeah.
I'm Savita. Right? Or you may not even tell me. You will just say, oh, God knows whom is he calling. I am not that. But if I call you a rascal, now why don't you shrug it off and saying, oh, I'm not a rascal, so he's not calling me.
He doesn't know me enough, so that's why he thinks that's what it is.
No,
So you,
whatever. Yeah, so in the Charu case, you didn't get angry, but in rascal case, you are getting angry. Why? So I want all of you to think, what are we holding on to? Where are we? What are we holding on to? What are we wanting for ourselves? Forget anybody else. Right? Is it that we have got this one nice, cool image about myself? I am this, whatever you are. I don't know what image you have. But is it that we have one nice, beautiful image about ourselves? Or even if we don't
Ratnesh,
have it, yeah, just one moment.
yeah.
Even if we don't have it, we want to hold on to it. We want to do things, we want to say things, we want to wear clothes, we want to have a car, so that it all fits into this one big large image that we have about ourselves. Do we not? That's the question. And the question is that really an image that we want to hold on to? Or do we really need an image? That's what I'm really questioning. Aren't I sometimes caring and sometimes uncaring? Aren't I sometimes responsible, sometimes irresponsible? Aren't I sometimes smart, sometimes foolish? Aren't I sometimes rascal, sometimes not rascal? Sometimes sensitive, sometimes insensitive? Aren't I all of these adjectives, positive, negative, whatever you want to call them? Um, aren't I all of these? And if I'm all of these, then is there one image that I want to hold on to? Or do I want to just say I have maybe a million images? I'm this also, and I'm that also, and I'm this also, and I'm that also. And maybe million images means no image. What do you think? Yeah, Savita, you were also saying something. Sorry. I just wanted to finish this thought and then take.
Actually, the word mask came first before you said image. So It's like you choose certain attributes, put it together, and use that as a mask, or
No, I'm not talking about the mask.
not
I'm
that.
talking
Yeah.
about something else, much more deeper. I'm
Hmm.
saying, am I holding on to deep inside me to a crutch of images that this is what somebody said, it's my conditioning or whatever else it was. I don't care what it was. What made you think this way? Let's think afresh today. Let's think that am I one image or a set of images, or am I just all the possible images possible? And when I think of myself as all the possible images, how can I be one image or few images? How can I only be smart and not foolish? And how can I only be patient and not impatient, and so on? Does these adjectives even make sense?
Yeah, Ratnesh. Now I can come back to you so that I got my answer.
Okay.
You asked me why I don't feel good with the negative judgments. That's
Hmm.
because I am holding this so-called good image of myself, so I am not ready to accept that negative judgment. So thanks a lot for that.
So if you feel hurt, whose problem it is?
Obviously, it's mine.
Hmm. So can
And if
people
I,
hurt you?
sorry,
So now can people hurt you?
I think no. If I'll accept it, like I am everything like sometimes I'm everything, kind of like all the attributes are there in me and in
Hmm.
everyone.
Hmm.
I can't be good every time and I can't be bad every time, so
Hmm.
but the purpose is to be better every time,
I don't know
so no
why.
one could hurt
Why
me.
would even be better? Meaning, I don't know. Okay, that again is an image. I want to be the better person today. So if you're not better than yesterday, today, my goodness, you have wasted one day of your life.
No, but first like right now when I got your point, I feel that uh, just a
Think
minute,
about
someone
it.
is
Even
crying.
yeah, sure,
Just a minute, I'll come back to you,
sure.
sorry.
But think about it. Even better is an image. Why good? Why bad? Why better? Why not all of these and many, 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 many more, and millions of them? What do you say?
Yeah, so as we started the session with, like, at some point of time we always have been one of them, so we need not to take it as a kind of offense. We can just carry it like, yeah, okay, I was irresponsible, so we can just take it just like that.
Yeah, but you can only do that if you are not holding on to some images as preferable, or I want to be that, or
Yes.
so on. If you're holding on to a set of images or one image or whatever you have,
Hmm.
then you can't do that.
Correct.
Then you feel hurt. We feel hurt because of the other person. And I'm questioning that. I'm saying, is it really so? Or is it I'm feeling hurt because I am holding on to something? I have built this nice golden cage around me. You know, this golden cage says I'm caring, I'm friendly, I'm smart, I am whatever. I'm sensitive, I am whatever. I'm good. But what about the all the other images that I have? Do we want to live in this cage? Do we want to be imprisoned by these images? Or do we want to be just free? Not just free of a cage, but free of any image. Then all the images are mine, and none of them are mine in that sense, in the sense that I don't, no image defines me. I am one moment caring, another moment I am uncaring. Now which image defines me? None of them. I am like that river. You know, when you look at the river, you see water flowing, correct? Now when you look at the river, you see the water flowing and you say, hey, there is a river. But what are you seeing is the water, and the water that you are seeing has already flown by. Now is that still the river? Because the water that you saw has flown by, but you still call it a river. So can I be a river where this caring, uncaring, responsible, irresponsible keep flowing? One moment I'm caring, one moment I'm uncaring. But each of this flows away. But I'm still the river. I am me. and I don't hold on to anything. And when I don't need to hold on to any image, then I'm free. What do you say?
Yeah, so like today itself, I have broken one image when I was doing the exercise that was given before the session. So normally I always call myself to be organized, like I am the organized and all. But due to some reason today I was not able to organize my home, and I was feeling when I was trying to relate to organized word, then I felt many instances when I was not organized at all. So during that exercise also I felt like, yeah, we are always something and we are not the same thing at the other moment. So
And you also realize that the so-called positive adjectives, let's say organized, are a bigger problem. If I think I am organized, then the moment I didn't organize, I'll feel horrible about me. I'll
yes,
feel guilty. I'll feel terrible. No, why am I doing this to me? Right?
correct.
Just because I think I'm organized, I'm digging my own grave or creating my own problems. Why
Yes,
am I doing that? So if you start thinking that way, then you start realizing there aren't any positive or negative images, because it's just a continuum. Sometimes I am more of this, sometimes I am less of this, and there isn't a positive or a negative.
yes,
It is just what at that moment what my let's call it behavior was. The behavior was what was caring or uncaring. I was neither caring nor uncaring. I am neither responsible nor I am irresponsible. But my behavior at a moment can be irresponsible. My behavior can be responsible. And so on. I can be patient one moment. In the doctor's office, I'm very patient. At the supermarket checkout line, I'm very impatient. Does that make me patient or does that make me impatient? Or maybe neither.
so
Ratnesh, I
even
have a question.
Yes, Ranjini.
Yeah,
Where did your
now
mustache go?
that it was too ticklish, it fell off.
You're looking so cute in that.
Yeah, yeah. My concern, it's not my question, it's a concern. Like, these kind of name callings happen very often with school going children, and,
Oh,
I've,
wait. Can we defer this question to a little later? We'll come to children. First, let's
uh,
look into ourselves. If we can't understand this with respect to ourselves, there's nothing we can do with children. It will all become theoretical. Right? So
okay, so
I'm
you,
not so soon going to discuss
okay,
children. We can discuss.
no, I'm
Let
not, okay,
today's
I'm not
session
talking
go
about
into
you
10
today.
hours. I don't care. But let's first understand it to ourselves and see what are my doubts with respect to myself first. Am I still thinking about that rascal? And am I still a rascal?
Uh,
How am I understanding this? Yeah.
Yeah, my question is, if you let others call you that, isn't it, you're also letting them dishonor you?
And what is this word dishonoring? What do you mean by, can they honor you? Do you want to give people power to honor you and dishonor you by saying I want people are dishonoring me? That means I have given people the power to dishonor me. Now I don't know how you want to be. Do you want to give this thing to people? People please honor me. People please dishonor me. Are you okay with
Uh,
people honoring you?
See, that
Yes
doesn't
or
mean
no?
that, I can.
Are you okay with people honoring you?
I
Because
am.
then you should be okay with people dishonoring, because the moment you give people the you allow people to honor you, you are also allowing them to dishonor you. The moment you give people the thing about respecting you, the moment you are also allowing them to disrespect you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think about it. Who is giving them the right to honor or dishonor, respect or disrespect, or for that matter anything? If somebody says, Ratnesh, you are great, I say, okay. If somebody says, Ratnesh, you are horrible, I say, okay. Did he honor me first time? No. Did he dishonor me second time? No, neither. That was just his opinion, what he thought, and he blabbered it out. How does it matter to me? In the
So
sense,
then,
it isn't about me, it's about him. His thoughts, his point of views. How is it about me? I have not given anybody the right to honor me and dishonor me.
then what is it about standing up for yourself?
What is it about standing up for yourself? When you don't want to sit down, you stand. And when you don't want to stand, you sit down. What else is standing up? No, standing up could be for your rights. That's different from honor and respect.
Honor and dishonor. Yeah.
If it's my turn in the queue, it's my turn. Somebody from behind can't jump the queue. Let's put it this way. He's not honoring or dishonoring me. It's my right to, if I'm the next in line for anything, buying a bus ticket, for example. Right? So those are my rights, and I need to stand up for my rights. Unless I feel like being in a very benevolent, generous mood, and I say, okay, you buy first, dear. You look so beautiful today. But that's a different thing. That could be dependent. So we are not talking about rights. We are talking about what am I? Are you an honorable person, Ranjini?
Now it's like, you really
think about it.
Making me think. Yeah.
The moment you say I'm an honorable person, you're opening up an opportunity for anybody to dishonor you.
Dishonor.
The moment is Ranjini a respectable woman? The moment you think you are respectable, you're opening the opportunity for people to disrespect you. If you say, hello, I am neither respectable nor disrespectable, I am Ranjini. Now that makes sense to me, because you're you. Sometimes you can be disrespectable also, sometimes you can be respectable also, sometimes you can be neither. But do you hold on to something? Or are we all, the other analogy which I quite like to talk about is like, we are all the time running behind some buses which we can't catch. I want to be seen as somebody smart, or I want to be seen as somebody intelligent, or somebody, whatever, suave or stylish. I don't know what buses we are trying to catch. And we are running. And then we are never able to catch it because you can't catch them. You can never be fully responsible, 100%, 24/7, 365 days a year.
True.
And even if I was, oh my goodness, how much burden it would be.
Yeah.
But Ratnesh, so
Yes, Preeti.
out in the real world, say in the corporate
Which is this
sector,
real world you are talking about?
So for example,
right now we are not in real world, we are in some unreal world.
No, I meant say, in the corporate sector when you're working, invariably, I may have been responsible sometimes, I may have been irresponsible. I'm the one who speaks my mind most of the times, but there are times I've kept quiet because, I didn't want to voice my opinion. But they label you, or they have a perception, okay, Preeti
See,
is
they
like,
having a perception, they labeling is immaterial. What material is, wait, hang on. What are you holding on to? That is what matters. What happens to you when they say, okay, Preeti is very, whatever, let's say, innovative employee, let's say. Most innovative employee award goes to Preeti. How does Preeti feel?
I do feel good about that.
Why?
Because I've done it, I've displayed it sometimes, but I agree, I've not displayed it sometimes.
Yeah, so is the innovative word interesting, or is the occasion when you did something in an innovative way, you say, okay, that time is being, whatever, let's say, acknowledged, right? Or is it Preeti being acknowledged, or it was Preeti at that time when she did something innovative being acknowledged? Who is being acknowledged? The problem is we think Preeti is being acknowledged.
Yeah.
If you think of Preeti at that time, then when tomorrow you goof up and say the Goofer of the Year award goes to Preeti, right? Then you will not have any problem, because that time I was innovative, that time I was a goofer, which is fair enough. But if I say no, Preeti was awarded at that time, then Preeti is also being awarded this time. One time you feel great, one time you feel horrible. If you attach it to us, If we say we are innovative and we are not goofer, or I cannot be a goofer, but I can be innovative. It isn't about corporate world, isn't it about real world, isn't it about any world. It's about my world. How do I see myself? There's only one world you live in, Preeti, that's you. Do you live in any other world?
Yeah.
Any other real world? I don't
But
know of any
Ratnesh,
other real world.
sometimes I just want to mention it because I have lived that for a good 12 years of my life, and now I feel free that our, whether it's our bonuses, whether it's our appraisals, sometime and tangible. So the bonus aspect, the increments, the promotion does get impacted by such perceptions which has happened. So
Sure,
even
sure.
if
I
I
can't
feel
deny
I
that.
am free
See,
to be,
I can't deny how
yeah,
people operate. I am only talking about how I operate. Maybe I will not get a
okay.
bonus, but the biggest bonus would be that it doesn't affect me. That I live out of my understanding of myself rather than living out of how people are going to talk to me or what people are going to do to me. And if you think that it is unfair, go fight it out. Not because you should be shown as innovative or goofy, but because of the work that you have done. If you think your work is not credited, you go and fight it out, like how Ranjini was saying. Do I not stand up for myself? Well, please go ahead and stand up for yourself if you want to, obviously. But does it hurt you? That's the big one. Or do I constantly keep doing things just to live up to a certain image, whether in front of children, whether in front of, let's say, in-laws, relatives, corporates, bosses, neighbors, society? Who? What am I living up for?
Hmm, okay.
What is the self-esteem that I'm talking about? Whose self-esteem am I talking about? It seems to me that we are all the time talking about the world's self-esteem. What will they think about me? Hello, what do you think about yourself? So if you realize this is such a useless concept, this whole concept of self-esteem, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do I do with a self-esteem? I don't need any. Do you need any self-esteem? Do you want you to feel think and feel smart and intelligent about yourself? When we very well know that yesterday in the evening I did a very unintelligent thing. Don't we say, "Oh, what a dumb thing to do," and don't we say, wow, I was really cool?
Ratnesh, this enlightenment needs to go to the whole world. It'll be an ideal
No, no,
place.
no, 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 no. It doesn't need to go to the whole world. Never, never, never. Don't ever take it to the whole world. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Let me put it this way. Yeah, it needs to go to the whole world. Whole world is me. Right? When you ask me, who are you? I will say, I am the world. Where else? There's no other world that exists for me. Every time I have to see people from my eyes, I have to hear them from my ears, I have to talk to them with my mouth, I have to feel them with my hand. There is no other world in which I exist. Unless you have double skins, you live elsewhere as well as elsewhere. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
who are we? Are we our nature? People say, oh, that's my nature. Really? Were you like that when you were 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old? Ask your mom, grandmom. No. Are you your habits? Do we define ourselves by a role? Oh, because I'm a mother. Oh, because I'm a boss. Oh, because I'm a doctor. Really? Are we our community? Are we our religion? What are we? Or maybe we are nothing. None of these and none of anything else. We could follow a religion. We could manage a role. We could use a habit. We could exhibit a certain nature at certain points of time. We could be part of a particular community. But that still doesn't make us we or I. I am none of those. And if I'm none of those, what am I? Well, I would say you are free. You're free of any labels that you want. What do you say? Savita is asking, then what is the essence of me? Nothing. How does that sound?
Go labelless.
Labelless or nothing or whatever, void or whatever you want to call yourself. Or why do you need to even have an essence of yourself? And we will see what happens when we start thinking like this.
Can I say something?
Please, please.
If I say I am nothing,
Mm-hmm.
then, I can be anything at any time.
Absolutely. Which you are. See, like right now, you're almost looking like a Superman with all that wearing on your head. You're just about to fly off and save the whole world.
That's great. Got it.
That's what I said. You're free.
Yeah. Thank you.
I would like to say something here.
Please, please. I'm waiting for people to say something here.
Yes, so maybe we are free at some moment and maybe we are not free at the other moment again.
That's your choice.
Yeah.
That's what you need to remember. It's your choice. It's not anybody else's. Right? Nobody else can have the power to, let's say, hurt you. At least not by words. There is an old saying, sticks and stones may break my back, but words would never do. I'm sure you would have heard that in your childhood. So really, when you say I am not free, which means you cling to a certain image, then you are just saying, hey, I'm letting others rule me, because then I'm there. I'm a puppet in their hands. By using one word, they can hurt me, and by using another word, they can feel me great about myself. The innovator of the year kind of a thingy. You are giving them the power to rule you, rule your feelings, rule your thoughts. You want to do that? Please go ahead and do that. Your choice. You want to live in a prison? You go ahead and live. Your choice.
Hi, Ratnesh.
Yes, Bhavna.
Yeah, so basically, some people who have probably gone into a lot of negativity, probably say depression kinds or something, and
Mm-hmm.
are not able to like really, maybe they know these concepts, but they are just not able to let go of certain things that have caused them so, harm deeply. Uh, for some people, is it just not that easy to just let go of certain things, incidents happened, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you say about it? I mean,
Can I say something?
Sure, sure.
If we put one thing in our mind, that even telling also, not we, if we replace this we word with I, it reflects so many things. It give you little different thought again. Putting we in this sentence and putting I in the sentence,
Mm-hmm.
it makes a difference.
Okay. Yeah. So, Bhavna, you were saying if some people have gone through um, some experiences and they're not able to let go, uh,
yeah,
um, in spite of understanding that, uh, in spite of understanding that it is it was possibly their own images about themselves that caused all of this. Is that how you are?
Yes, basically they have gotten so deep rooted into the problems, which are not really problems at all. Like you said, it is all about us. It's not how people perceive us.
Mm-hmm.
After knowing it also, if we are not able to come out of situations, you take help of medicines, you take help of counselors, basically, to get out of it. Basically, I'm saying letting go, is it that like easy?
Well, I personally don't think things are easy or difficult. It's not about easy or difficult. It's about, yeah, understanding. And if somebody is not able to understand oneself, uh, and is thinking of oneself in a way which is hurtful for that person, then we will try and help that person to understand it in different ways. So it's not about easy and difficult. If you really want to help them, well, we can help them in many different ways. And if you really want to care for them, you may continue to help them in so many different ways till they understand themselves. But yes, the journey has to start somewhere, right? Somewhere we need to realize something. And which is why it's important to not just think in terms of yourself, but see, if why are we talking about all this? You would say, hey, this is a program to do with children, so why are we talking about all of this, which is more to do with me? But as I said, that if first I don't understand this, then how will this reach to the children? Because if they see me operating out of images, then that is what they would want to operate out of. Somebody mentioned conditioning. The conditioning came because somebody else was conditioning you, right? The judgments came because somebody else was judging you. And because of the judgments, you felt, oh, I'm judged, I'm judged, I'm judged. And that's how you started thinking of, okay, I should only show positive sides of me or whatever, whatever. Otherwise, people will judge me. And that judgment hurted you. That is why you wanted to avoid that hurt. Or those judgment made you feel good. And that's why you wanted more of it. But uh, somewhere we are the ones, let's call ourselves as adults or parents, who are creating this. Now, if we start understanding this, then let's see what we can create for children. Yep. Any thoughts before I kind of move ahead? Okay. Yeah. Let me put this slide and then. So let me summarize this slide. So sorry, somebody was sharing. Yeah, go ahead. We'll take your sharing first.
Okay. So just something I wanted to share, coming to, because the last statement you said was, what can we do to our own, thoughts about this particular thing so we can help children. So the other day I was sharing that my 11-year-old daughter came up to me and said she wants to shave her head. So when I had a chat with her later to understand what made her think that way, she tells me she wants to break free of all the rules in the society as to, something very related to this. She says, will you not accept me if I shave my head? I'm still going to be me. So I want to break the society. I mean, whatever the society thinks of me is not something I care about. So she says she wants to make a point by doing that. So that means she just doesn't care how everybody is going to look at her. She's still going to be the same, and nothing is going to change in her. And the way people look at it is their own, ways of looking at it. It doesn't bother her. So it really struck me hard because I really didn't know how to respond to that, because
You know how you should react? You should say, okay, I'm joining you. Imagine if all of us shave our heads, then what's the message we are giving to the world? That the world is not fair and lovely. Is the world fair and lovely? No. These advertisers, they love this concept called self-esteem. They love this concept called attitude or whatever. They love images. They want you to believe that you can only look good when you buy their products. And obviously, fair and lovely is like tops the list, right?
Very true.
So they will do anything for you to believe that you are good for nothing unless you are whatever. Now imagine if all of us shave our heads with this girl, and we tell the world that it doesn't matter whether we have hair on our head or we are bald. Yeah, what matters is what we are, and how people see us is just immaterial. And if you can break that, you're up against $1 million companies who are trying to tell you how to live your life.
That's so true. Yes.
Which is why I say that the self-esteem to me is a non-concept. By virtue of non-concept, I mean to say that if I don't have self-esteem, then I think I have self-esteem. You know what I mean? I can only truly respect myself if I don't have any respect for myself. In the sense, if I don't hold on to something, if I don't have this whole image to hold on to, then I'm truly respecting myself or respecting the individual that I am.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was, I mean, can we also think of it from the other? I mean, this is just a thought that I had. So, yeah, this is something that my daughter thought of. Yeah. So, this is what nothing will change in me if I do this. So, why not do it? So, I was thinking, why do we have to do this to prove the point? Do we have to do this to prove a point? Like, you can still be whatever you want, and still the world has to accept you.
Sure. At an individual level, yes. I need not obviously shave my head to prove to anybody. But if I want to spread this message, if I want to tell others that you are you because of you and not because of your silky long hairs, which the advertisers claim will come from their double lenti dandruff shampoo, whatever, right? Then if I want to communicate to the world, see the problem if you look from her point of view or from a larger point of view, is that there are too many messages which are telling you you are not good enough if you are not this, while there are hardly any people who are giving this message that you can just be you.
Right.
So in that sense, yes, to a larger cause, yes, it's almost like a social campaign, you can call it. Yeah, from an individual level, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
More thoughts?
Ratnesh,
Yeah.
Savita here. What I'm thinking is, even if we let go of our certain beliefs, let go of the images we associate with ourselves, and
Mm-hmm.
all that, and we still have to live with people around who
Mm-hmm.
completely, most of them do not live like this, right?
Yes.
That so we need to also adjust to that kind of society, or we become very disgruntled and say, why is everybody else not able to understand this?
No.
Something,
Why does it
we
need to
become a
bother us?
misfit or something. It
Why does
doesn't.
it need to bother us
I don't
how
know.
others are operating?
What if we do things to fit into something, right?
Give me an example.
Um, like if you're playing a certain role, you're expected to do certain things. Like if you're a parent, you're supposed to be caring or this or that. and then suddenly some things you do don't fit that, and then you're supposed to fit the image. So this is
No,
more
that
critical.
I don't agree. Why do you need to be caring if you know deep inside sometimes anyway you are caring? Why do you need to show the caring you to the world? Uh, that is not necessary. Why is it necessary that I need to show the caring me
Yeah, I think it's going
all the
back to,
time?
yeah, fitting into
But I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody called me for a marriage function. Now, typically, I like wearing shorts and t-shirts, but I obviously don't go to a marriage in shorts and t-shirt. Not because I want to look smart, right? Because that will others will not feel nice about it, and I care for them. So I'm doing something not to prove an image about myself, but I'm just making others not unnecessarily uncomfortable just because I think that I can wear anything anywhere. So I may still follow, let's call any kind of norms, or I may still do things, but this time I'm not trying to prove anything to myself that I am smart or that I am this or I am that. I'm just doing it because of others, taking care of their needs.
I want to say, something.
Yeah,
Yeah. So at that time, at some of the point, you are not you are
like,
like not wearing half pant or a t-shirt on the someone's wedding or someone's event.
sorry, I didn't get you. You are saying if I am not wearing shorts and t-shirt, I am not me.
Yeah, on that time you customize
No,
yourself. Or
I am me.
okay,
Just because I wear shorts and t-shirt most of the time doesn't mean I am a short and t-shirt person. No. Clothing is also sometimes. I can be sometimes short and t-shirt guy and sometimes suited booted guy. Why not?
yeah, if you are free from everything, then you can be
Yeah.
good.
Okay. I think everybody is wanting a break. Let's take an early break. Why not? Okay. So let's take a break. How long a break you want?
13 minutes.
Sorry?
13 minutes. 1 3.
30 minutes.
1 3.
Oh,
1
the 1 3. Okay, 13 minutes. Okay. Yeah, 13 minutes is fine. 13, 14 minutes is fine. We'll keep it flexible
और
today.
कोई
13,
चीज में
14.
किया हूँ जैसा
Okay. So,
हम्म
right. It is
कार्डियम
26 by my
बड़े
watch.
लोगों का 10 4 कुछ तो था ना
क्या क्या
10 4 बड़े
Okay. So it's 9:26 by my watch. So let's be back at 49:40. Is that okay?
Yes.
What we have shared till now is so very important. I can spend as much time as we need to. If we have more thoughts to share or questions to deliberate on, so please go ahead. If you have thoughts, please share. If you have questions, please ask before we move ahead.
Yes, that's good, but I want to delete it, please. What do you say? Me? The Zoom? What?
Somebody wants to say something. I'm not sure if I understood. Yeah, sure, Asha. The video would be uploaded. As I often say, you haven't missed much if you aren't trying to catch a bus. A bus called image, a bus called adjectives, a bus called self-esteem. If you're trying to catch it, well, then you missed it. But if you're not trying to catch it, then there's no problem.
Um, Hi Ratnesh, thank you. Asha here. But I think today's topic was very interesting. I joined in the right time at 9 o'clock when all interesting discussions were going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So the interesting part is also to start thinking, hey, are what are the benefits of not having uh, not having an image, or not being stuck to some images, or not having self-esteem, being free of all of these. So let's try and build up what could be some of the benefits. So finally, why will I move away from images that, let's say, society has built, or I have been conditioned, or whatever. What would be the benefits?
Hi Ratnesh, Asha here. Sorry, as I told, I joined late, but just trying to connect bits and pieces. Because I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Like, see, most of the teenagers, when they meet us, I know few kids have this problem that no one accepts us. I don't have good friend, and literally they are into loneliness, depression. It's a major thing what we are seeing.
Mhm.
So now when you are saying this, it's such a beautiful concept, but how do we inculcate that in kids?
Sure. We'll come to that.
Yeah,
Maybe the second half can be majorly devoted to that.
yeah.
But before we do that, let's first see what could be some of the benefits uh, of not having a self-esteem, or not having an image, or not having, some people call it ego, whatever you want to call it.
I think that makes you free, gives you this unlimited sense of freedom. Yeah, like you just put it on the screen.
Mhm.
So you're not tied down by anybody's thoughts of you or anybody's impressions of you. You are your own self, and you are aware of that. It's not that uh, someone. I mean, nobody else is going to impact the uh, how you feel about yourself. So you're just feeling free.
Okay, so that is one aspect. It makes you free, and whatever benefit you get out of being free. What else?
I want to say something. Tejas
Yeah.
here. It come again with me of your last lecture belief. Like in this also, if I'm free, then I can play around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can play around with anything. I can be a rascal at one time, and I can be not rascal at other time. I can be a caring at one time, and it is not compulsory that I have to take that label because I am caring. So I have to. I'm not in that zone of caring. So I can be myself. I cannot be caring at that moment.
Yeah. I can play around.
Yeah, I can play around. That's it.
Okay. What else? So one is I'm free. I can be myself. I can play around.
I
Ratnesh, sorry.
Yeah, Deepti.
I can play someone else also. Matlab, even someone else also can play around. So I am very uh, ease at it that
Okay.
someone is playing around.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Deepti here. What I think is, if we will be free, first thing will be the peace of mind. Another thing is, like, it will save our time, so we can be more productive doing the
Save
things.
our time, you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. And how will it save my time?
because I'm not thinking about what people are thinking about me.
Okay.
So it will save my time. I can dedicate that time to the actual work which I want to achieve.
Right. Yeah. Otherwise, somebody calls me rascal in the morning, and whole day I am,
Yes.
feeling low about it and terrible about it.
Or
Otherwise, I can just say to him, "Yeah, I am a rascal. Now tell me, how can I help you?"
yeah, means I need not to keep thinking about it. I could have said
Sure.
this to him. I could have responded like this. So I need not to think anything about that. So
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
that happen and happen. Let it go or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thought?
Even it will save my lot of energy.
Yeah. Time and energy. Yes.
And Ratnesh, we will not have extremely, high points in life and very low points in life. Like you said, I'll not feel, if somebody calls me that, I will not feel that bad, or, I'll not feel that low from where I cannot come out. So, more or less, life is more stable, not too much
Well, I'm not sure. I mean,
extreme.
why shouldn't you have highs and lows? But the highs and lows are not determined by what people think, are determined by what happens. I can still have a high point. I can go ahead and do something and feel great, and I can do something and feel horrible, right? But those are my actions, my behaviors, which caused a high and which caused a low, not somebody else's opinion about me. So highs and lows will still happen. I hope they happen. I want highs and lows. I want a roller coaster. I don't want. I mean, you want a stable life, fine. I don't want a stable life. I want a roller coaster life. I want action. All kinds of things happening. So, but the highs and lows comes from inside me. They don't come from outside me.
Hmm. But that's what inside we will not, have that kind of highs and lows, right? If we don't hold a particular image of ourselves, and if somebody projects us to a particular image, we will not go through that low
Yeah.
within
So yeah.
ourselves.
So when others do something, it would not bother us. Yes.
Huh. Hmm.
So I think one advantage would be I would be less critical of myself, or I wouldn't keep thinking, oh, okay, I did this, or what would that person think of me, or
Yeah.
I would criticize myself too much, and more maybe love myself more for who I am rather than what
Sure. Yeah. It's
is around
simpler,
me.
at least. It's simpler to live because you don't get into those complications.
Yeah, simpler to live life in your
Yeah.
own.
It's like the other day, one person came and told me, Ratnesh, I was very angry with children, and now I'm feeling very guilty about it. I said, oh my goodness, why do you want double trouble? First you were angry, that itself was a trouble. And now you are guilty about being angry. And that's the double trouble. Why can't we just be angry and stay with that I was angry and see what I want to do next time? So I reduce my troubles to half. Otherwise, I would have doubled it by adding more guilt and more whatever I want to add. And interestingly, we also become very responsive to other people. See, first of all, we become accepting to ourselves. And then we become responsive and accepting to others. You see, if we go back to the situation where we started with, where this guy was calling you rascal because you did something, somebody on the road or in a restaurant or somebody, you realize our response was, oh, I will get angry because this person has called me rascal. But interestingly, when you realize that you are also anyway a rascal, so it doesn't matter what he calls you, now that you are at your peace or you're accepting of yourself, you are able to reach out to that person. Number one, you're able to acknowledge his feelings. So if the person's calling me rascal, I would say, oh, you look angry, rather than saying, how dare you call me rascal. That is when I hold unrascalness as very important. But he's calling me rascal, that means he's very upset. So I can acknowledge his emotions. I can say to him, oh, you look very upset. Oh, did I do anything? Okay, I can change it, whatever. I can do something to help you. So I can become responsive to people. I can acknowledge them. I can accept them. I can do things for them that can help them. So not only it helps me, I start becoming responsible because I'm not operating out of images. I'm operating out of whatever I want to do in a particular situation. In this case, I can connect with the other person. And that becomes a a big operational advantage, because now I'm not, hurt, and I'm not operating out of those broken down feelings where I need to first manage my feeling. How will I manage somebody else's feelings? So if you remember, we go back to the feeling session, we say first we need to take care of our feelings and then we take care of the child's feeling. But when we don't have these images, then we don't have those feelings. So we don't need to take care of those feelings. So the child isn't irritating me, and I obviously become responsible for myself. Then I can become responsible for the child. So this whole cycle, kind of, it's about me and to the child.
So, Ratnesh, today I just observed this. I don't know how, whether it connects to this whole session, but so when my daughter, I was dropping my daughter to school, and I happened to see one of his friends walked in along with her into the gate, and they just exchanged looks, no hi, no hello. So I just asked my daughter, isn't he your friend Hassan? And she kind of didn't reply nothing. They both went inside the school, still no highs, hellos, and I was like, okay. I told her once, tell him a hi, but she didn't, and they just walked in. So once she came home, and we were just chit chatting about the day, I just asked her because I was curious to know, did you speak to Hassan today? Did you play with him? And she's like, yeah. So I said, you didn't tell him a hi when you entered. He didn't tell you a hi. What happened? We played together, and that was the answer. And that's when I realized, or because of these sessions, I started thinking that they do not have those beliefs that, okay, being friends with someone means you have to say a hi or a hello or greet. And today, like, if with this session of having an image of yourself, so if I have an image of that I'm a friendly person, suppose I will always greet people nicely, I'll say hi, hello. But kids don't have that. When kids don't have it, I'm like, they just play together, so they don't go into that thing where, okay, I have to say hi, hello, and then only start playing, or that's the normal way of greeting. So I'm
Yeah.
just saying that, with these sessions, enlightenment, and if we observe our kids, we kind of I'm trying to understand how they function. He is still his friend, but she doesn't tell him a hi when she sees him. It's as
Yeah. So
simple
we
as that.
realize that they are our gurus, right? They are far
Yes,
more
yes.
liberated. They are free. They are the gurus. We should touch their feet, not they touching our feet. I think it makes sense the
And
other way
yeah,
around, right? Because if you observe them, we can learn so much from them. They are devoid of any images, so they can just operate. They can be
yes,
gullying, abusing the friend one moment and hugging the friend the next moment, while we will hold grudges for years together. Oh, she didn't say hi to me in that party. You know how she has become like so
yeah.
snobbish nowadays, right? So we are, we are the ones who are the ones who need something. We need schooling. I think they are fine by themselves.
Yes.
Right? So yeah,
So Ratnesh,
absolutely.
so just one question I have on this is, I didn't tell my daughter, tell him a hi or anything, and I've left it at that. I'm like, they're friends, great. I'm never going to tell her, or prescribe anything to her about being friendly or friendship. But when the same thing, when she meets elders, or when somebody is saying, should we still go ahead and prescribe that, okay, they are your elders, if they are greeting you, it's that is just respect. So there's a thin line. I
There's
sometimes
no
don't
thin line.
understand whether.
There's a thick line. Let's go to that line. Right. Okay. Let's quickly jump over to this. Since you brought this up, right? So I had sent this through the preparation
Yeah.
also. So yeah, let's take your responses. Could you find people in all the categories, or could you not find people in some categories? And whether you could find or could not find, what is this whole exercise show to you?
So I would like to open up. So when I was starting to do this exercise, I had some images in mind in all the four categories. But when I actually was listing down, then I felt something like, if I don't respect a person, then surely I will not be loving that person. And the same way, if I am not loving that person, then I will never be respecting that person. And somewhere, whoever you meet in your life, they cannot be like neither love and no respect. So I felt like somehow deep down we respect and love the people we are in touch with.
Okay, that's what you think. Let's take other views. People who could see people in some categories and not in some categories, or you had examples in all categories.
Yeah, I don't have anyone whom I love, but I may not respect.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hmm.
But other three
Because
categories, you could get people?
yeah. Hmm.
Okay. But Deepthi was saying she couldn't get even people in different categories. So maybe you can give, if you can give at least some example of where you got, and then we will see if somebody has somebody in the category of love and no respect.
Yeah. So when I was like, I wanted to fill in the love and no respect. I wanted to feel like the name of my child. Like, I love the child, but I may not have any respect for the child. But
Mm-hmm.
when I was analyzing that statement, I thought some places I actually respect. I
Mm-hmm.
respect her choices. Uh, I respect, like, she doesn't want to do something. I respect that she's sometimes she wants to throw her anger out or something like that.
Like she's doing now.
Like, no, she's shouting right now. I respect
Sure.
that it's her emotion, and I'm not the one to just say shut up like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So although I was thinking when I started that she comes under the category where I love her but I don't respect her. But when I
Mm-hmm.
actually tried to put her down, put the name down, I couldn't put it there.
Okay. Muskan, would you like to share who you got in the other three categories?
Yeah, the people I love and I respect are the ones who are with me, like who are my near ones, my loved ones,
Mm-hmm.
because I do love them, maybe unconditionally also, but I also respect them.
Mm-hmm.
Then the people whom I respect but I don't love them, that they are the ones who are not near me, right? Like the ones who are inspiring me, the ones who are not related to me, like we don't meet often, but I do respect
Give
them.
us an example.
It can be, see, if my maths sir, maybe,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
see, when he taught me maths in my college days, I do respect him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel that I love him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people I love but may not respect, somehow no one could arise in my mind, because I don't feel that I can love anyone whom I not respect.
Okay.
Because maybe he can be my closed one, but if I can't respect them, I won't be able to love them.
Okay.
And people I neither love nor respect, uh, there can be many, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go deep inside that, but I feel there can be many whom I neither love nor respect, because the persons whom I'm not concerned for, maybe the strangers or maybe
Sure.
all around,
Sure.
they,
Sure.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's ask the rest of the group on your behalf. Let me ask if others have any example of love and no respect.
Yeah, I have an example, Ratnesh.
Yeah, Gunjan.
I have an example, but I don't want to like. I'm not comfortable saying that.
Sure, no issues. So let's invite others who are also comfortable sharing that.
Tejas here.
Yeah.
Yeah, in one of the way I have, after long thinking, I have put one name over there. That is my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I love him a lot, but somehow I do not connect with the respect part. Or yeah, I want to share that.
Okay. Yeah, Abhishek is also mentioning similar things, saying love but no respect some family members. Okay. Somebody else would like to share?
Wrinkle here.
Yeah, Wrinkle.
I have put it love and no respect my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I love her a lot, but I don't respect her because of some behavior of hers.
Mm-hmm.
Like her, lying sometimes, or not accepting the behavior of her. So I
Mm-hmm.
respect her.
Okay.
And in respect and love, I have put my father.
Mm-hmm.
I respect him and I love him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Respect and no love in that category are most teachers, or some of the gurus
Sure.
that category. No
Yeah.
love, respect, I don't find it anyone to put it in.
Okay. Fair enough. Anybody else wants to share? Ranjini, you want to share something? I saw your mic unmute.
No, that was by mistake.
Sure, no
I could
problem.
only put respect and love. Other categories I could not. I did not have any people to connect with.
Sure.
Any
Okay. Mamta is putting in my name, maybe in some category, love, but sorry, respect, but no love. Yeah, that could be. So yeah, meaning we can have people who are like, let's say Abdul Kalam Azad or somebody, some public figures, like somebody said, maths teacher who could be in. And I respect these people, but obviously I don't know them so much that I start loving them. While this category of love no respect is very interesting. Let me share with you a small in not really an incident, an email that I received, uh, where the father said that something had happened and he hit his son, and then the son started crying, and he took the son in his lap, and he said, beta, I love you very much, and it is because you misbehaved, that's why I hit you. So he then, in this mail, he said that, so this is what I did. Now, is there anything wrong with that? That's the mail he had sent me. So I replied to this person saying that you love your child, but you did not respect him. Does that make sense? At least at that moment, I'm not saying as a global level, but at least at that moment, he loved his son, but he did not necessarily respect him. In fact, a lot of time, um, I would say children often fall in this category. They're loved a lot. Every parent loves their children. Grandparents love their grandchildren. Even relatives loves their relatives' children, and so on. So we all love, even a little child on the street, we kind of feel a love for that child, but we don't necessarily respect them. And that's a category um, which is interesting, because respect is different, and love is different, and which is the point that I want to bring about from this small exercise. The idea is not who is in what category, that's not important, but perhaps what is important is to realize that there are two different things, that love is different and respect is different. Yeah, and we should not, the reason I want to separate that out is I don't want one to be confused with the other. Meaning, a lot of parents I hear, oh, I love my child. Is that enough? Does your child need to be respected also as an individual, at least to start with? Okay, is that how you want to be, or is that just the fact that you love your child is enough to bring in the respect? So it's interesting when we look at both of these together and see, hey, they're different, and is it that, how do we kind of look at both of them and see whether what am I doing to my child, or to anybody for that matter? So that's the whole idea when we start understanding the difference between the two. And then you can even extend it to that point where you can say, hey, so do I really, if I don't really need to be respected, maybe I don't even need to be loved. In the sense of, I'm not trying to say whether people don't love you or the people don't respect you. I'm saying, what if I operate from a nothing, no image level, where there's not even an image that I need to be loved? What if I don't need to be loved? What I don't need to be respected? Then what will happen? Then everything is worth, whatever I receive is respect, and whatever I receive is love. So maybe I would like to keep myself in no love, no respect category. I don't have to love myself. I don't have to respect myself. What do I respect in myself? My nose? No. Any of the adjectives? They don't exist. So what do I respect in myself? There's nothing to respect. Why do I need to respect myself? Do I need to love myself? No. Why? Why do I need to love myself? I'm fine. I'm fine the way I am. I just keep whatever, living a day at a time or whatever. I don't have to, because again, will that become a problem? Will that goes into a spiral? Oh, I need to love myself. I need to say good things to myself. I don't know what it means. So it becomes very interesting. So if you want, you can put me in that category. At least for myself, I put myself in that category. I have no love. I have no respect. Why? Why do I need to? I can just be without all of that. Then whatever I receive is a gift. Because finally, if you look at it, everything it's either a behavior, and then to that behavior we connect a adjective. We say, oh, that was a very loving gesture. As if the gesture by itself was loving, or the person was loving. Now, if we relate it only to a gesture that was loving, which is fine enough. But if I start thinking of that person, then I have a problem. Then comes whatever, jealousy, then comes possession, possessiveness. You go ahead, you can line up a whole lot of things which come there. Okay, so my idea is, yeah, sorry.
Suchitra here. When you said, like, I'm fine with that, I'm fine with whatever I am, does that mean I'm comfortable with whatever I am? Is that comfort itself is called love? When we don't like something, we get discomforted, and that then we label it as, I don't like something. I don't love it.
Not necessary. See, I may, for example, if I behave somehow, in some way I behaved in the morning, I may not like it, the way I behaved. But that itself is neither non-loving to me or loving to me. Or I may have behaved some way in the morning which I like. But again, that itself, meaning I just like the way I behaved, or I did not like the way I behaved. That's it. That's how it was in the morning. It just happened. It was a situation. It was a action. It was a behavior. It was a happening. That's it. Now I can do something about it, but why does it need to be connected um, to me as an image that, oh, I am this or I am that?
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay, so finally what okay, sorry, somebody else wants to share something.
Just Ratnesh, in this case, sometimes we can just get away by doing some things really nasty. Either we can do that or somebody else. That I just did this, on the spur of the moment, but and do something really bad and nasty,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
then just say
And say what?
so that it's okay. In that
No,
moment,
no, I'm not
I
trying
did
to
not like it.
justify my behavior. At no point I said it was okay to behave badly. Because I love myself, I can behave badly. No, 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 no. It's just the other way around. When I don't have to love myself or respect myself, or I'm not expecting that from anybody, then I can actually look at my behavior and see, hey, how was I? Did I do something nasty to the other person? Do I need to do it differently next time? But it doesn't
Okay,
put, I
okay.
don't need to put myself down, nor obviously the other person down, but definitely I don't need to put myself down. I can put my behavior down. I can always scold my behavior or reprimand my behavior because my behavior wasn't good. If I feel that way, if I think that it was nasty.
Okay, okay.
In fact,
Got
what
it, got it.
typically happens is if I am thinking that I am very lovable and I do something horrible, then I may even justify it because I have to
Hmm.
again live up to this image that I am very lovable. So
Lovely.
now I justify it. See, I did it for this reason or whatever. Then there's a justification of everything.
Right. Hmm.
So see, the reason we are talking about all this is because there are two things. One is how I interact with children, my children or any children for that matter. It will always come from me, and I have to understand me so that I am able to respond, so that I can understand my response to children, or for that matter, anybody else. The second thing is, which is perhaps equally important, is that what am I what am I transmitting to the children? If I am giving them the sense that they need to be, let's say, smart or intelligent or beautiful or whatever else we think that children should be, if we dole out images to them in many different subtle ways, we don't even need to use these words, then there is a problem. And the problem is very complicated because I don't know what messages I'm giving to the child. When I was a little boy, I was supposed to be a good boy. I don't know whether you were supposed to be a good boy or a good girl, but I was supposed to be a good boy. And good boys, when you go to somebody's house, don't eat more than one gulab jamun or samosas. They eat one samosa or one gulab jamun. Now, every time we'll go to somebody's house, and if they will serve samosas or gulab jamuns, I would say, I don't want to be a good boy. Who wants to be a good boy? To hell with all this good boy thing. I just want to be a bad boy and eat samosa after samosa. You know what I mean? So I'm not thinking like I'm wanting to be a good boy. I'm good with being a bad boy because I don't want that image. I don't want to live out of that image. I would rather freak out on gulab jamuns. Are you with me? Do you want to freak out on gulab jamuns or being a good boy? You decide. I never wanted to be a good boy. And that was such a pressure to live up to that whatever image of being a good boy. Now, I am not trying to say that the child should hog gulab jamuns. That's a totally different. It's a behavioral aspect which needs to be understood from a behavioral perspective, not from manipulated through some image perspective that you are good only when you eat one gulab jamun or one samosa. You know what I mean? So a lot of things that we do, a lot of messages that we give to children, all revolve around these images. And as somebody was talking about, then when they grow up to be teenagers, see, anyway, they are exposed to so much of advertising, medias, movies, all creating images after images after images. On top of that, if we also kind of certify those images as important or vital, then where is the escape? At least when we are not engaged with those images, then we can help them to understand themselves, not in one shot, not in one day, but then only we can support. And for that, first of all, I should be benefit of any image. If I am only married to images, then how will I help them understand their own images? Then this whole image of, oh, he's so cool, or he's so this, or he's that, that becomes the language, and that becomes the thinking. Your thoughts?
Can I say something?
Sure.
Yeah, so like when we or when the adults tell the children that you go to somebody's house and then you should behave in a proper manner, or you should sit like this, or like not be fidgety or move here and there. So like we're putting a pressure on them, or a burden on them to behave in a certain manner, and then the artificiality starts coming in their behavior. The artificiality which is present in our behavior as adults, like we are trying to convey some image in, so that starts coming into the children as well. So they can't be themselves anymore. They uh, they are they start uh, they try to please others. They try to say something to please other people and so on.
Yeah. And please realize that we could still be, let's call it, behaving well or only eating one gulab jamun, not because of an image. So if we still want to convey or understand with the child, and we'll talk about that more in the coming sessions, the child can still understand why I need to behave in a certain way in a certain place, not because of an image, but more because of some other relevance to it. So if there is let's call it an etiquette, or there is a way to do something, or as I was giving the example of dressing up in a marriage, for a marriage function. So the reason is not to do with image. The reason is some other functionality or some other, uh, you know, value that goes with it, not necessarily to do with, oh, I need to be seen as this, a good boy or a bad girl or whatever. Just like the shaving of the head doesn't make me a bad girl or a rebellion or whatever. It just makes me, I'm doing it not for that reason. I'm just going to show that it doesn't matter or how many hairs I have on my head. I'm still the same. So when we disassociate behavior and the way the images are stuck to the behavior, then it starts making sense, because I may still not behave appropriately, and I may be able to understand why it was inappropriate, and then hence I can behave more appropriately because I understand why it was inappropriate, not because I want to be a good boy. Okay, so let's go back to, I think Ranjani was sharing something about children. So now let's talk about children and how do we work with children. So Ranjani, you wanted to share about labels, and you was talking about you work with children. So then, I
Yeah,
stopped you in between. Yeah.
yeah, 1 second. So there's light off. Yeah, what I was saying is, I've had these children come in for daycare,
Mm-hmm.
and they would have experienced, a lot of them would have name called them, and things like dumb bum and all that,
Sure, sure.
and which really they feel very sad about it. They carry that sadness for some time, and we facilitate them, we talk to them, we just tell them, if you're not liking what they're saying, you need to communicate it, looking at their eyes. see, what I was wondering whether you take it personally, you feel bad about it or not, but communicating the is important. That I'm not okay if you talk to me like that. That is what I was thinking about, and that's what we talk to children when they come up with these kind of situations. So I just wanted to know
Sorry,
whether.
I'm not sure I totally understood. You're saying child A is calling child B something.
Yeah.
Okay. And when child A has, let's say, name called or labeled or used any word for, let's say, rascal or whatever, mm,
Hmm.
to child B, what do you say as a facilitator?
See, to some extent, the stupid idiot,
Your
dog
voice
and
is
all
little
that.
breaking.
Then
I'm not able to
them a
hear
story
what.
about an orange. Okay, I think that's because of the fan. Yeah,
No,
can you hear
maybe.
me now?
Yeah, better.
Yeah. See, words like stupid, idiot, dog, and all that. When they
Mm.
come up with those kind of words, we kind of pacify them and tell them a story about this orange chair, where if somebody calls orange chair, will you feel bad? Like it's like if you associate a meaning to that word, all the more that possibility that you'll feel bad about it. So when you don't associate it with a meaning, then I don't think that should bother. So initially we do that, and some of the children come up with, they would have used extremely, like, very, it sounds really bad, and,
Mm-hmm.
extreme words. So that time, they would be like, very vulnerable, and they would not defend themselves, and they would come back crying, and every day this thing keeps happening. And then we actually talk to them about standing up for themselves, and you should communicate looking into the other child's eyes and say that I'm not okay if you're talking to me like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is what. So there are three things around it. So I'm a little confused with this idea of um, using the words and not giving importance to the meaning. But then there is also a way to communicate. If you talk to me like this, I'm not okay about it.
Sure, sure. No, I kind of like that idea of orange chair. That it's not about the word itself does not convey anything till you don't give it any meaning. Yeah, that's a good start, I think, especially when children are still trying to figure out what that word means.
Yeah. So, words like fuck you, bitch, and so many other words that really bothers them a lot. Like, especially 14-year-olds, they take
Right.
it very personal, and a lot of anger is there. Sadness is there because they can't defend. At this point of time, what is that we need to do?
Yeah. See, one way to I would anyway come to that, but anyway, one way to look at is that children are smart enough to understand, just like we are trying to understand right now. So I would talk to children in many different ways, and I will show you at least one or two ways. But the main idea is that can I connect to these to the children and make them understand that if they don't hold on to something, if they don't hold on to a image, if they don't hold on to a word, then it doesn't matter what somebody else calls them. By their calling, I don't become that. It's like that orange chair. It's somebody calls me an orange chair, I don't become an orange chair. I still remain me. I just remain a human, right? Just by somebody calling me a chair. So in that sense, somebody can call me any other word, I don't become that. I still stay me, almost like how I was I don't know whom I was calling somebody as Charu, and by my calling somebody Charu, she did not become Charu or whatever. I can call Ranjini any other name, but that doesn't. So so you can actually illustrate that to children, that if I call you Mohan, you don't become Mohan, right? Yeah, if I call you Rahul, you don't become Rahul, right? You are you. So just by giving you another name, you don't become that. So if you realize that, then you decide then whether you want to be upset. You know, so that is something I've seen children realizing or understanding very simply. If I just use another human name with them, right? So I can call Ranjini Gayatri, and Ranjini will say, but I am not Gayatri. Why are you calling me Gayatri? Gayatri is Gayatri, right? So that way you realize, okay, you are you, and the words itself have no meaning.
Mm.
Yeah. So and then if they are ready, go a little more deeper into this whole business about images and how, let's say, advertisers make images. So we go through advertisements and try and understand what image they are trying to sell, and what image people are trying to sell, and so on, and look at media, what image media is trying to sell. So we can go into a lot of different aspects of, because the images are everywhere, and you have to they have to start their own journey of understanding and what these images are doing to them. How is it making them either feel sometimes inferior, sometimes superior, while they are neither inferior nor superior. So that's a journey. As I said, to me, if I am able to convey this journey to you, then I'm sure you will be able to take them through that journey. I don't need to tell you the techniques, but this fundamental understanding that, okay, we don't need to live out of images. If we understand, as far as I'm concerned, then I will be able to pass it on to children. That's my contention, and that is why I'm spending so much time in us first understanding that I don't need to have an image. Then it's easier to pass it on to children. You can come up with your own 100 million stories, or rather you can pick up any storybook which has so many images. Nowadays storybooks have always had, fairy tales had so many images, the bad mother-in-law or the bad stepmom, or how those cliched and all kinds of images. So we can actually pick up a book which has so many images and actually debunk those images, shoot those images, almost like burst those images. So we can do that with children. So every storybook reading itself becomes a journey of understanding, hey, what images does this story present?
Mm.
So yeah, so that's what. So I would typically in this session I'm more focused on us, because if we understand it completely, then we can easily pass it on to children. That's my belief. Wrong, right, I don't know. But I also believe that if I don't understand it, then how will I pass it on to children? Then there is no way, whether they are teenagers, whether they're young children, it doesn't matter if I'm myself stuck with my own beliefs. So it has to begin with me.
Ratnesh,
I'll look
this.
Yeah, Shilpa.
So yeah, I have exactly the same story, and after my first Jagritik session, like my son came crying one day and said, "Oh, my friend called me stupid," and so I looked at him like in a shocked way, and I said, "So, oh my God, so you've become stupid from today?" Then he looked at me like, "What the hell are you talking about?" It's like, "No, no, I am not stupid." I'm like, "Seriously, but he called you stupid." Like, "No, no, but I am not stupid." So like, then how does it matter what he calls you? And he was like happy, and 2 minutes he was like out of the door again playing with the same friend. So yeah, this works.
And in a lot of cases, the children are themselves able to shrug this off. The problem happens when the adults step in and we also do the same thing. Then it's difficult to shrug it off. So a child calling a child stupid, a child will be able to shrug it off. But let's say the parent also at some point calls that, then it becomes a problem. Then it's too many data points. Then the belief starts getting formed. I might be stupid only, or I shouldn't be stupid. So I start hiding, I start lying, and all those things start happening because I can't be seen as stupid. So I start doing all kinds of things to prove that I am not stupid. So it becomes a vicious cycle, you can say. Okay, let's do a couple of Wait, I'm just moving ahead in my right. I like to share a couple of things more to go into little detail with children. So let me give you this analogy. So let us say you have gold buried in your backyard, or at least you get to know that you have gold buried in your backyard, right? So somebody informs you that you have gold buried in your backyard, and let's say it's very, very reliable. So what would you do? Yeah, somebody has told you that there is gold in your backyard. Now what will you do?
Go and dig.
Go and dig. Okay. Maybe others can also respond in the chat window. So what would you do? What would others do? Gunjan will go and dig. What will others do? You have gold buried in your backyard.
I will go and check and get all the gold.
Right. So for that, what would you do to be able to check? What would you do? It's buried.
Okay.
Others, what would you do? Come on, everybody. Share in the chat. Okay, Muskan is not bothered about gold, so she won't bother. Others, what will you do? Ranjini will remove it. Okay, so I'm assuming by removing you mean dig it. Yeah, Wrinkle also meant the same thing. Okay, you will remove it. Yeah, dig. Okay. Okay. And so for taking it, Bharti, um, you'll have to dig, right? Okay, so all of you will dig. Or okay, all of you except for Muskan will dig. And why are you digging? So you will start digging, I'm assuming. Isn't that the first thing that you will do? Meaning, obviously, knowing once you know where it is, you will start digging. And why are you digging? You can just respond to me in the chat window. Why are you digging? To get gold. Asha says, I'm digging because I want gold. Okay. So when you start digging, what will happen first? What will you get first? Mud. And what will you do with all the mud and the stuff that comes up? What will you do with that? Put it aside. And why are you putting it aside?
Because I know that there is gold.
There's gold. And that is what you want, right? And so the mud is not important. Yes, Wrinkle is saying mud is not important. And then as you dig more, there is some stinky, yucky, mucky things come up. What do you do with all those stinky, yucky, mucky things? You still know that there is gold deep inside. And while digging, some stinky, mucky things come. It doesn't make any difference, right? Wrinkle saying it's not important, not make any difference. What will you do with all those stinky, mucky? Throw it aside, right? And why do you want to throw it aside and not get bothered with it? No use, but why do you want to not spend any time on that? You want to focus on goal. Right? So that's the looking for gold. Yes. So that's the analogy that I like to give. It's the same when we work with children. When you work with children, you will get the mud, you will get the muck, you will get stinky things. In the sense, you will get all kinds of imperfections. You'll get all kinds of things that you may not like. But where is your focus? Let's assume that in every child there is a pot of gold. Now, what are you looking for? Are you looking for the gold inside, or are you going to focus on all the imperfections that are there in? So in my little experience with parents over the last 20 years, parents don't come to me and says, I want to find gold in my child. parent comes in me and says, this is not okay with that. My child is too shy. My child doesn't read. My child reads too much. My child does this. They're only problems. I can tell you 99.999999% people have come to me in the last 19-20 years that I've been working with children with only problems. This is wrong with my child and this is wrong with my, she doesn't read, she doesn't write, she doesn't play sports, she doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. Where is the goal? Everybody has forgotten the goal. Or not everybody, some of us have forgotten the goal and digging for all and are more preoccupied with the mud and the muck that comes up. But you don't have choice. You find anybody, including yourself, and there will be some mud and muck and there will be some gold. You decide what you want to dig for. What do you say?
Ratnesh, if I talk about myself,
Mm-hmm.
I was telling you earlier that my focus is to be better. So you said again, it's a kind of image which you are creating, which is creating a problem, right?
Yeah.
So I said that being better means that for me, for myself, I need to be better. Like I have learned something from you today, so that's for me, for myself, for my betterment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is that, that's what, because that's what I want for my child also, because we both are like friends. So we every time we think like हम लोग जीते हैं, तो we are growing in a way better than ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I feel, why is it creating a problem? I don't see any problem in that.
Okay. Till it is not creating a problem, there is no problem.
Okay.
I'm only saying sometimes the whole thing about better becomes more complicated than just becoming better. Obviously, that was not similar context, but this whole thing about that, I need to be better. Oh, okay. What does that mean? That means that however I was yesterday, I need to be little whatever better.
I need to learn and learn, and I need to keep my mind open, and I need to learn.
Yeah, till it
of course,
is to do with learning, mind open, enjoying different things, exploring different things. It's all right. It's absolutely fine. So if it is in that context, I'm good with that, because that wouldn't really bother anybody. But if it is in the context of me as, again, if I look at in terms of images, I am not that good, and I need to be
better.
better.
Okay.
Yeah,
To
then
show
it becomes
it
an
to
image.
someone.
Yeah,
Okay.
either show it to someone, or even for myself, forget someone, even for
Okay.
myself. And if I don't become better, I feel even worse about myself.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, I'll give you a cute incident. The other day, the child, one child I was talking to, I said, did you write it? So it was about a blog. So he said, no, I didn't write. I said, why? He said, no, I'm not good at writing. So I said, whoever told you to write good blog? We were supposed to write a blog. I said, whoever told you to write a good blog? You just write a blog. It's not about writing a good blog or a bad blog. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a good blog writer or are you a bad blog writer? It's not about that. Just write. So we are so caught up in writing a good blog that I didn't write. Why? Because I'm not good at writing a good blog.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if we get stuck with, then I'm not even attempting to be something, or I am feeling regretful or guilty or horrible about myself because I am not getting better. Right? But when I'm not really looking at better, but I'm open to exploring learning. So if it's to do with the images, then better is an issue. If it's just to how you have put
It's
it,
fun.
it's to do with exploring, then it makes more sense. So here also, when we're talking of digging for gold, we are not trying to say that I cannot functionally explore my weaknesses. There is no issue with that. But if I'm more stuck with the image that my child, unless he or she improves or becomes better, or these so-called weaknesses go away, only then my child will be worthy of being an individual, then it becomes a problem. And we are too much caught up with that. Yeah, too much.
Okay.
Let me give you a situation. Give you all a
Hmm.
situation. Let us
Yeah.
say, I think somebody mentioned this situation in one of the sessions. I'm not remembering which one. That you go into the lift and with your child, and somebody else comes in the lift, and let's say they ask the child, "Hey, beta, what's your name?" And that the child, instead of telling her name, let's say she hides behind you.
Hmm.
Okay, now the person who has come into the lift looks at you and says, "Hi, child." Yeah. Now what do you do?
I won't mind actually, because that's the same case with me. It happens almost every day, and I really don't mind. It's fine. I respect my child, and I
Okay.
won't tag him, but whatever he is, he is. Maybe tomorrow he'll come, he'll go back to him and tell him that I'm Arab. Maybe, but whatever. I don't feel anything.
Okay. But you realize, and okay, let me ask others. What would you do? Let's ask others. So you are saying you will not do anything.
Yeah.
You'll just stay quiet.
I'll just smile because I don't want someone else to feel.
Sure enough. Sure. So you will just
Yeah.
smile and let it pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see other responses.
Sorry, what's the question, Ratne?
Okay. I'll repeat the situation. You are in a lift
No,
with your
situation I got, but what the neighbor said in the
the,
last.
the neighbor or whoever was the stranger in the lift said shy child, because the child
Oh,
went and hid behind you. So the stranger said shy child. So I'm asking,
yeah.
what would you do? Okay, Wrinkle is saying, I'll say she's asking you something, tell your name. And why would you say that, Wrinkle? Okay, Bharti is also smiling. So we have two smiling ladies. Who else? What else? How else will you respond?
Yeah, actually, this is stages I have wrote something.
Yeah.
So I would say no at home. So he speaks very well.
Mm-hmm.
He's not shy.
Okay. But interestingly, what if the child is feeling shy? So if you are saying no, he's not shy, but the child knows that he's feeling shy. So the child will say, "Oh, my dad, he doesn't even know me."
Yeah, it happened a lot of. Well, it happened. Yeah, that I accepted.
Okay. Okay. So Chitra is saying, I would say he's not shy. Mm-hmm. And why would you say that? Because he is right now being shy. So in a way, you're contradicting his behavior.
And not understanding and not connecting with him right now.
Connecting with whom?
With the child.
Mm-hmm. Why not? Connect with him.
Right.
Okay.
So by connecting, you mean to say I'm asking him?
No, you don't have to ask him. You.
No, not asking him. Just registering or registering him that you feeling shy.
I don't know. You can ask him. Yeah. So Chitra is saying, Suchitra, will you say that he's feeling shy at this moment?
Yeah, he's feeling shy at this moment.
Is that what you would
In
say?
that, but yeah, in this case or at this moment.
Mhm. Yeah. I think that's a very interesting response, Yeah. He's feeling shy at this moment. Or And you can even add a maybe to it. Maybe he is feeling shy at this moment. We all feel sometimes shy, sometimes not.
Maybe is a perfect.
So, what I want you to realize is that, see, even in a subtle situation, just few seconds in a lift, a belief can get formed. And we can be part of that belief forming. We can reinforce that belief. The stranger said shy, the child was feeling shy, the child heard that shy. Maybe the child will also, maybe if we I don't know, if we smile, I don't know what, or if we do what, if we don't do anything about it, if we just leave it, maybe the child will say, oh, my mama also thinks I'm shy, so I am a shy person. There you go, one belief got formed. Maybe, I'm not saying the child will form, I'm saying maybe. If we say that he is not shy, then also we are wrong. So what do we do? What do we do?
Ratnesh,
Yeah.
Savita here. So I think let the child be. Maybe tell the other person that right now the child doesn't want to answer, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm. And what about that word shy? So that was an interesting response, that right now he doesn't want to respond. That's so nice. I'm just egging you that, see if you can complete the loop. So that's a very beautiful response, but that's what he is doing. He's not wanting to respond. And to say that uh, out aloud is both acknowledging what he's doing, accepting his behavior, and still connecting with the stranger. So that's a lovely response. However, what do we do with this word shy, which is hanging in that lift?
So after the person gets out of the lift,
Mm-hmm.
I think we can acknowledge the child. Did you
Mm-hmm.
feel shy when that person spoke to you?
Mm-hmm.
And just put a question and wait for the response.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to do it. Yeah, we can talk to the child. How is he feeling? Absolutely. Either in the lift, in front of the stranger, outside the lift, after the lift, in the evening, next day in the morning. See, you realize now suddenly so many options are opening up. I'm sure you can figure out how to talk to the child, or what to talk to the child, or you want to talk to the stranger. I'm not saying one is the right way or the other is the right way. But all of this, yeah, maybe he's not in a mood, Asha, so we can ask him later or whatever. But all of this can only happen if I'm okay with his shyness, because I realize shyness is not an image. I have also been shy one moment, and I am also not shy one moment. The child is also not shy always. Sometimes he is, sometimes he is not. Only when I am in clarity with my own, hugging or non-hugging of this image of shyness, then only I can offer this window to the child, or this understanding to the child. If in this whole movement I only get very perturbed about, oh, my child is so shy, he doesn't have any social behavior, let us put him in a class somewhere he can become more bold and confident. Oh my goodness, then where am I am myself sticking to an image of shy as being negative. And believe me, there are so many parents who come to me who think that their child is shy, number one, and that is a problem, number two. So that's a double trouble. First of all, they think that the child is shy, so the label is given, and two, they think it's a problem. And I have to tell each one of them, you see, your child is shy, that is fine, but what do I do? I am also shy. First, get rid of me. Sorry, get rid me of my shyness, then I will get rid of your child of his shyness. I have to tell this to every single parent of so many hundred thousands of parents who have come to me like that. Isn't it sad that we are also stuck to this shyness? What do you say?
Yes, at some moment you are also shy, and some moment you are not shy. So
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this question. Till when um, a child is a child? Sorry, did I ask a complicated question?
Till we consider him a child.
Okay, so till when will you consider your child a child? Or till when you consider yourself to be a child? Till parents are there? Oh, so if I am 50 years old and my parents are around, am I still a child? Okay, somebody saying 21. Rajini saying difficult question. Yeah. Till when are you a child, or till when a child is a child? Okay, Kunjan saying 2 years. Muskan is saying I'm still a child at 32. Awesome, Muskan. Welcome to the club. You are still a child at 32. I am still a child at 50. Okay, the point that I'm trying to make is that, life in itself is just a continuum. We start at zero and we end at wherever we ended, whatever age we die of, right? If it is just a continuum, it's just something where we keep on, let's say physically or age wise, or however you want to look at it, keep on going. I'm not using the word growing, I'm just saying keep on going. We grow in many different ways, but keep on going until we drop off, right? Um, then perhaps one of the biggest images is of the image of the word child. We ourselves have so many images of this world child. Child can't do this, oh he's just a child, oh bacha hai, and so on. This whole concept of the word child itself can at times be an image. Oh, they are children, so let them do this. Oh, child behaves like this. And then on top of that, now we have a new image. Not now, it's been there for many years. It's called teenagers. Oh, he's a teenager, so she's a teenager, so she will behave like this and she will do like this, and so on. So again, we are complicating our life, and we are complicating the child's life by putting him in something called as a child, or putting him or her in a bracket called as teenager. What would happen? And that's the invitation. What would happen if we stop thinking of them as either children, teenagers, as just as individuals, however they are? Obviously, at different ages, they will have different physical needs. They may need, as somebody mentioned, protection, or they may need some specific care. Even at 75, some some adults need a different kind of protection or different kind of help. or care. So is it the age, or is it just that they are at different points, different needs, different styles? So if you ask me, one of the most complicated labels is this thing called child and teenager both. If we remove these, then we are able to understand the child as, I'm using the word child, but understand the other as an individual, and that becomes interesting.
That automatic give these stages, that automatic give respect to it, or lot of image got blasted once you remove this label of child.
Yeah.
So automatically we get a respect like a bigger one, or sorry, I'm using again a big and a small, but yeah, it make a difference.
Yeah, no. We can use the word till they just mean to convey something, not necessarily an image. The problem is not with the word child. The problem is with the
Images.
With the image. Yeah. So I'm not talking about the word child. I also use the word child. Everybody uses it. That's okay. We can
Yeah,
use any word.
yeah, like cooking. If she's like my one is 6, she can't cook or she
Yeah.
can't do any kitchen work because she's a child.
Yeah.
But if I remove this image, like before 2 days, 3 days, she was helping her mom. So absolutely, just removing this will help a lot of image to be bust out.
Okay. So I want to end the session with a small demonstration. Yeah. Um, the demonstration I'm showing you, not necessarily for you, but more that you can use this demonstration with children. So it's like a campaign which you can spread this demonstration. You can do it with children of all ages, your children, neighbors children, anywhere, right? Because I think it's a very interesting and powerful demonstration. Okay, for this demonstration, I'm going to use a 100 rupee note. Some of you would have seen this demonstration, but even if all of you have seen this demonstration, I would still like to do it again simply because of the message it carries. Yeah, so I'm going to use a 100 rupee note. Some people get little disturbed that I'm using a currency note, especially with Gandhiji's photo on it. But for the sake of demonstration, just forget that all of that is there on this 100 rupees note. I don't want to use a fake money, because to me the message is really good when we actually use an actual note. All right, so let's look at the message. Let's just forget. So if you can see on the video, I have a 100 rupee note, and I'm ready to give it uh, free to anyone who wants it. So whoever wants it, in the chat window, please say I want it, or whatever you want to say, yes, or I want it, or whatever. I'm giving away this 100 rupees, no strings attached, no questions asked. Who wants it? Okay. Oh, there are a lot of people. Muskan wants it, Wrinkle, Gunjan, Abhishek. Others, you don't want this? It's coming free, absolutely free. No strings attached. Nobody else wants it? Okay. Okay, more people coming in. Okay. This much is enough, even if Asha also wants it, Ranjini, Savita. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, please watch the video. I've crushed the whole 100 rupee note, right? You can see it, it's nicely crushed. And this is what is left. Yeah. Do you still want it? People who wanted it, do you still want it? Okay, you still want it. Twinkle, Abhishek, Asha, they all still want it. Muskan. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spit on it. I'm going to actually use my spit, right? I'm not going to play act it. I'm going to actually spit it. Obviously, you can't see it, but you can hear the sound. Right? You heard that. I hope you saw it. So, do you still want it? No. Abhishek now says no. Wrinkle says yeah. Wrinkle, you still want it? Okay. Many of you still want it. Okay. Okay. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put it on the floor. I can't really show you this, and I put it on floor, and I'm stamping on it. I'm crushing it with my feet, and I'm scrubbing it on the floor. Right? You can't really see it, but that's what I've done. Now it's this. I've stamped it, and okay. Do you still want it? Gunjan says no. Wrinkle still says yeah. Who else? Anybody else still wants it? Okay. Why do you still want it, Wrinkle? Or Tejas? Yeah, Tejas. Okay.
By doing anything, money is still money. I can use it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't reduce his value.
The value is the same. Muskan is also saying the value is the same. Interesting. So this is what I tell children. Exactly, this is what Muskan and Wrinkle are telling. This is what I tell children, that in your life, people will crush you. In your life, people will spit on you. In your life, people will stamp on you. But your value will still stay the same. Your value does not change by what people do to you. Your value is intrinsic, it is inside you. It is not dependent on what people say to you. And that's the message I want to give them. Yeah. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good
Thank you,
night.
Ratnesh. Good night.
Thanks, Ratnesh. Good night.
Good night.